Morning, beautiful people. Welcome to Louisville Center for Spiritual Living on Sunday, October the 8th of 2023. I am Vicky Jeter, your practitioner, spiritual director, and it is my great pleasure today to say that we are here for three very special reasons. First, did you know that today is Indigenous Peoples Day? Which that just so excites me. To have a dedicated day. Actually, this weekend, technically the day is tomorrow. And so just a moment ago, I announced that today is tomorrow because I'm so excited about that. October the 9th, actually, they designated as the first weekend of October, the first Monday. And secondly, we are continuing our exploration of playing with paradox by getting comfortable with discomfort. And then immediately following the talk today, after service, we have a workshop that is addressing the awareness of trauma and its effects that cause dis-ease. And that's in every area of life. And for me, it's just a beautiful thing how these two topics are going to dovetail together. One really lays the foundation for the other. And so there's a few things I want to let you know because today is going to be a workshop day. One of the most important is that we do have our practitioner of the week, Miss Katrina, who will be praying for everybody all week. However, today she's not going to be available for individual sessions after service. So if you would like Katrina's support individually, she's going to be putting her email in the chat, and you are more than welcome to contact her for treatment, but it just won't be right after service today. And then in addition to that, sharing time will be just from the close of service until a quarter of the hour, so a quarter 12, so that we have 30 minutes between the closing of service and the beginning of the workshop. And so let us take a breath and let that all settle down and find its place. And now, before we set our intentions, I want to take just a moment to honor Indigenous Peoples Day. And we need look no further than our Indigenous people of this country to find stalwart models for how to master being comfortable with discomfort. Indigenous Peoples Day was instituted actually in Berkeley, California in 1992 to coincide with the 500th anniversary of the designated day of Columbus's arrival on October the 12th of 1492. And of course, who knows for sure about the accuracy of that date, but still, it's a designation. 2 years after that, Santa Cruz, California picked it up. And so it wasn't yet designated as a national holiday. Actually, it was just in 2021 that President Biden formally commemorated it as a holiday with a presidential proclamation. He said, since time immemorial, American Indians, Alaska Natives, and the Native Hawaiians have built vibrant and diverse cultures for our nation, safeguarding the land, language, spirit knowledge, and tradition across generations for their people. On Indigenous Peoples Day, our nation celebrates the invaluable contributions of resilience and the indigenous people of all the tribal nations. Now, let's take a moment setting our intention for today, individually and together. Check in and see what your intention for being here today is. What portion of your masterpiece are you painting today? Our shared intention for this service is to find our way together to discovering what it is about needing to get comfortable with discomfort that has been standing in our way of actually living more in unity. And so finding our way to doing that is an exploration that happens in layers, and our opportunity to talk about it by looking at the prevalency of paradoxes in our lives and how it is that consistent paradox presses us to that challenge. How do we come together in what appears to be so many polar opposites? And so with that, we begin with our opening prayer. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Spirit, for the blessings of this day, for the opportunity to be together, for the opportunity in consciousness to leverage each other in knowing there is one life, one love, one law that supports and sustains all that we are, all that we have, and all that we are meant to be. And in this recognition and unity in mind, heart, and soul, I realize in my experience of this day that the giving and receiving is divinely guided, that each person is available to what they have come to receive and naturally gives what they have to give. And for this, I am so grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you, presence of life. I release it, I let it be, and so it is. And so we do welcome each and every one of you wholeheartedly to Louisville Center for Spiritual Living Teaching Chapter. And whether you're with us for the first time this morning or seeing us on Zoom, we are so grateful for your presence today. We start each day greeting God, the angels, LCSL as an entity, and every one of you. And Vernon and I set up and light the God candle, inviting everyone seeking to find us. So know that you are welcome, regardless of what path you've been on, regardless of what your questions might be. You are welcome here. And with that, we begin with our opening song. Is going to ramp up our energy this morning with Mr. Eddie Watkins Jr. and I Am the Place Where God Shows Up.
Am I strong enough to bear the burdens that sometimes come living this thing called life? Am I wise enough to make the right decisions when I'm standing at the fork in the road? Sometimes I wonder and ponder, only to realize I'm not alone, and there's nothing I have to do on my own, because I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has his being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has his being. I am the place where God shows up. Will I have enough to do the things I need to do to take care of myself? Will I have the health of mind and body to live a life of grace and wholeness? Sometimes I wonder and ponder, only to realize I'm not alone, and there's nothing I have to do on my own, because I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has his being. I am the place where God shows up. place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place.
I am the place where God
You
lives,
are the place.
moves and breathes and has
We
its
are the
being.
place
I am the place
where God shows up. I am the place.
I am the place where God
You are the
moves and
place.
breathes and has
We
its
are the
being.
place
I am the place
where God shows up. I want you to clap your hands and sing it with me. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up.
Eddie Watkins, good. Husk, can I have some more of that? Can we have some more of that? A little more? One more.
I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up.
Eddie Watkins! Good job, bro.
And this brings us to our mission and vision. The mission of Louisville Center for Spiritual Living is to teach personal transformation as a virtual community, living the principles of science of mind and celebrating all paths to God, which brings us the demonstration of our vision for the world, which is a world that honors and respects all people. Now, spiritual living is only as good as it can actually be applied and we can relate to it in our daily life. So each week we have an application of what we believe. And these are thoughts to put into practice each week and have an opportunity for discussion when you get a chance. And so this week, our application comes from a brilliant man who's blazing trails for humanity to follow into a world that can actually work for everyone, even with everything we have to figure out. And his book is called The Four Pivots. And he says, belonging is the capacity to see the humanity in those that are not like us and to recognize the same elements that are within them are within us. This is perhaps the most powerful practice we need to cultivate. And with that, I turn it over to our illustrious practitioner of the week, Miss Katrina Doro.
Good morning. Thank you. It's lovely seeing all of your beautiful faces this morning. It just uplifts me and fills my heart. Thank you for being here. Our reading this morning is from Anthony Robbins, who was actually a mentor of mine through completing his Mastery University program. And one of my favorite quotes of his is, "The quality of your life is in direct proportion to the amount of uncertainty you can comfortably live with." So let me repeat that more slowly so we can really embody it. The quality of your life is in direct proportion to the amount of uncertainty you can comfortably live with. So our meditation today will embody and and is based on the idea of mentally expanding what you're comfortable with being uncomfortable with stretching your comfort zone and stretching your consciousness. So let's move our body into a comfortable position and gently close our eyes or lower our gaze. Relax into this meditation as you feel yourself grounded and present in this moment, right here and right now. Release any tension in your body and release any distractions in your environment. Focus your attention on your breathing. Notice your breath moving in and out of your body, filling your lungs with oxygen. Recognizing the abundance of oxygen available, take a nice, deep breath. Allow the breath to expand as you breathe in deeply. Imagine your breath expanding and expanding even more. Visualize your breath expanding your capacity more deeply than the previous breath. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in the expansion. Breathing out, releasing all limitations. Take a nice deep breath, acknowledging the abundance of air that is available for each of us. There is no shortage of oxygen. An infinite supply of oxygen is available to you. Allow yourself to receive as much oxygen as you would like. Let go of any blocks or places of tension in your body, allowing the oxygen to create unity and oneness and wholeness in your system right here and right now. Focus your awareness on the beat of your heart. Place your hand on your heart if you feel comfortable. Feel your heart pulsing. Notice the love in your heart. Feel that wholeness and oneness and unity in your heart. Visualize the love from your heart filling every cell of your body. Feel your true self in your heart and imagine your essence, your being, your divine expression expanding and growing. Visualize the beauty of this love radiating out of your personal field. Visualize the expansion of love that touches the hearts of those in your near field. What color or texture or feeling or expression does love radiate from you to your loved ones? Feel that love expanding to your community. How does the illumination of the love from within you impact those in your local community? How does this expanding love support the Louisville Center for Spiritual Living or beyond? How does this love impact your contribution to the world? Imagine stretching out of your comfort zone. What areas of your life have been limiting you or constricting your authentic expression? As Tony Robbins would say, in order to grow in any area of your life, including your business, you must cross the threshold of your comfort zone. So I'd like to invite you to imagine stretching your capacity, your comfort zone, your abundance. Visualize expanding your expression of clarity, expanding abundance and love and peace and joy and light. See yourself in the area of your life that you would like to expand. Visualize that expansion occurring for you right here in your consciousness, in your mind. Allow yourself to feel comfortable in being uncomfortable as you stretch yourself, as you allow yourself to visualize an even greater expression of self. Feel the flexibility of life, releasing those areas of rigidity. Imagine yourself living a both and lifestyle rather than an either or lifestyle. Expand your ability to embrace flexibility. Imagine one area of your life expanding outside of your current comfort zone. An example could be ordering a new dish at a restaurant rather than your favorite dish. Maybe go to a buffet where you can taste test a variety of new foods in your life. Another example would be trying something new, meeting new people, or taking up a new hobby. What would it feel like to truly stretch into these new areas? Our final example of expansion is our expression of kindness or gratitude, sharing that love that we have within ourselves to all of those in our lives. How can we really stretch ourselves outside of our comfort zone? Feel the expanding love of God in, through, and as you. What is God's highest vision for you in your life? Take a nice deep breath as you envision yourself expanding into this highest vision. What capabilities, character traits, or characteristics and skills can you grow within yourself to become this greatest vision, this greatest expansion of you? As you visualize yourself expanding, feel the love and light and support. Allow this growth to expand even more greatly. You are a magnificent expression of God, expanding in consciousness to create abundance, knowing that you and I are immersed in abundance. We are expanding in consciousness. We are growing our ability to love. We are becoming more flexible and safe in stretching beyond our current comfort zone. We are safe and loved, and we trust the process to take the steps of divine right action. We allow ourselves to feel comfortable in this expanded consciousness and open ourselves to allowing even more good in our lives. We embody oneness, wholeness, unity and love in every area of our lives. We celebrate this expansive growth and feel the presence of God in this moment, right here and right now. This moment is a gift. We celebrate this gift of the present moment by loving, accepting, and allowing our consciousness to expand with ease and grace. We are divinely supported and guided, and our way is made smooth and easy. Take a nice, expansive breath in. Take another deep breath. And as we release, being right here, right now, with the Louisville Center of Spiritual Living, this dynamic virtual community. And whenever you are ready, open your eyes to this dynamic community. And so it is. Amen. So our motivational video today is a story of a lifetime by Eddie Pinero.
I was once told that to become who you might be, you have to walk away from what you are. That maybe I couldn't see it at the time, but somewhere locked away in the depths of my soul existed the spark, the flicker of light that would change everything. All I had to do was find it. Those footsteps, they define your destiny. A symphony that becomes your soundtrack, wind for your sails. They are the song that will guide your journey. In your pockets, they can be empty if your heart is full. The book can be unwritten if you hold the pen. The path can be unclear if you just trust yourself. This is the lens that illuminates your world. And when you fall, promise to get back up. When you feel misplaced, remember that getting lost is how you find yourself. When you're scared, know that it's darkest before the dawn. These are the stairs that will take you higher. Tired is not defeated. Wandering is not lost. Vulnerability is not weakness. Mistakes are not defining. Hardship is not a deterrent. These are pages in the story you're writing. And it's the story of a lifetime. So pull back the curtains. Dance in the moonlight, sing at the top of your lungs, so that every soul from here to infinity ignites. Life is too short to miss a moment, too beautiful to overlook, and here you are, with a map, a key, and a horizon waving you on. So follow it. Through the airwaves, past the mountains, beyond the desert. Follow it until your legs are weak and your eyes wide. Let it be the song that carries you home. This is the story of a lifetime.
And so most of you know that for the year, we've been doing Living Out Loud. And our theme for October is Playing with Paradox. Getting lost is how we find ourselves. Today's topic is getting comfortable with discomfort. And so we're going to start with a brief recap of how understanding paradoxes are a benefit rather than such a challenge, and why becoming comfortable with discomfort is important. And then from this foundation, we're going to explore just 2 points. First is the necessity of staying flexible. Thank you so much, Katrina. Mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And second, how to let go of that tendency to either or thinking and establish the both and as the more stable basis of our perceptions in relationship to people and our experiences of each other. And then, how do we do that? So, last Sunday, Reverend Carolyn gave us these wonderful definitions of paradox. Paradox is when two things totally contradictory and are both valid at the same time. And paradox is when we experience apparent opposites that seem like either one or the other must be true. And in reality, they're both valid. So thank you very much, Reverend Carolyn. Paradoxes are created by what are called polarized opposites. That's two conditions or experiences that are opposite each other, like up and down, right or wrong, dark and light. Either or thinking about paradoxes is the tendency to see things as being either one side of the pole or the other. If we're seeing something as bad, we're not generally much open to seeing anything about it that's good. In the case of up or down, it doesn't make any sense to the logical brain that something could be both up and down at the same time. We want to say it's got to be either one or the other. So, one example of paradox that's happening all the time is we experience the sun and the moon going up and down every day. At any given time, we're either in light or in darkness, when in reality, from the broader perspective, neither the sun nor the moon is going up or down at all. Our experience of the sun and moon and the daylight and the darkness are the result of the earth, the moon, and the sun being in continuous motion, and how that motion affects each other and our experience here on earth all the time. This kind of realization that something completely different than what our experience tells us is true can actually be what's happening is an excellent model to remember when we really need to broaden our perspective in order to work through solutions that are hard to understand. It doesn't have to be either up or down that is true, or that it's us or them that is right. It can be both the up and the down effective simultaneously. It can be both us and them that have accurate and valid and right perspectives. In human terms, it can be impossible to see how an apparent impasse to something can be worked out in form. And Lord knows we have enough of those right now. impasse after impasse. And when people are looking at it just through their human eyes and their human perspectives, it doesn't seem like there's going to be a way through. And this is where spirituality and the recognition of unity and consciousness becomes so incredibly important. When we make that shift in consciousness and open our minds and hearts to knowing they can be resolved in divine spirit, that there is a pattern for that. We just have to make ourselves available to it. And making ourselves available to that potential almost always is going to require that we at least turn away from the human constructs of what feels like the impasse. We won't see it. We can't see it if we don't stand in the consciousness and perception that the potential actually does exist. And we just have to trust in spirit to show us how to manifest it. So Kai's song from last Sunday, Change, says, life is in motion. Everything is going to change. And this introduces another paradox that speaks to our topic today of getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. By nature, most of us resist and avoid change. And yet, change is guaranteed to happen all the time, and it will keep happening. So there you have the two sides of the pole. On one side, you have a resistance to change. We want things to stay the same, when in fact, things are changing all the time. So what is it about change that we resist? So as I have prayed and meditated and prepared for our topic today, it gradually dawned on me that I'm actually not generally resistant to changes that I am choosing to make. Changes I have made the choices about. For example, I was all good a year or so ago when I got the opportunity to totally change my office because I had been blessed with all new furniture. It was a significant change. Almost everything in my house changed. And I loved it. But now, if someone had come in to my home with all kinds of their ideas about how I needed to do what I needed to do and what I needed to get rid of and what I needed to keep, do you think that I would have been happy about that? Would it have been a comfortable process if someone else was trying to take the helm? No, I would have been mad. I wouldn't want their opinions at all. When there are decisions to be made in your life, how do you feel if opinions and actions are suggested or taken without someone asking you? So clearly, I tend to resist changes that I am not in charge of, that I don't have control over. I believe it is safe to say that therein lies one of the things that drives our preferences to either or thinking. When we know conditions are going to be either this or that, then we know how much more of what we can expect. Most often, we know what is ours to do and how we need and want to do it in an either or kind of situation. On the other hand, the more people are involved in those kinds of decisions and choices to be made, the less we can be sure of how it's going to happen for us and what it's going to affect for us. So especially when we know those other people have opinions and values that are different than our own, oh my gosh, look out. Finding common ground can be very challenging. So what feels like relative safety in our either or thinking tends to be much more appealing than dealing with all those variables and unknowns. Because as we're all learning, we can only control our part. We can't control other people. So one of the greatest problems that this can result in from continually living from our own comfort zone of what feels the most safe and secure and sure is that we can develop the natural default blinders to other options. Our thoughts and feelings about various areas of life can become sort of rigid. So one example of this that I have was a real wake-up call for me. It was during the time before I met Vernon. I was living alone in an apartment. And I lived alone for about 7 years. And I had gotten really comfortable with exactly when and how I like to do things every day in peace and quiet. I didn't even have a TV at all. So one night when I came home from work, there was a stray dog who had decided I was the one to help him. He was full of energy, bouncing up and down, cute as a bug. I don't know how long he'd been stray, but it had been a while. He met me at my car, followed me up the walk to my door, pushed his way into my apartment as if he lived there for years. His idea was completely polarized, opposite to mine. And I started to go into a panic that I might not be able to get him back out of my house and directed to a more fruitful path because I was not in a position to care for a stray dog. As it turned out, I did get him settled elsewhere. But ultimately, I was so grateful for that experience because I realized I was getting too set in my ways. Energetically, I had been shutting down doors to the happiness of having a man come into my life with his whole universe and a whole bunch of people I didn't know and different interests and different things going on. And I didn't know who would be surely coming. All I knew was, whoa, I need to be mindful of staying flexible. So what we're really looking for in expanded consciousness beyond either or thinking is a third option, a third path that has room for both ends of the spectrum and room for the flexibility in the paradoxes. This has been called both and thinking. Now, I want to look at a few visuals to support this. So Vernon, could you put up the first slide, please? This is Aristotle's golden mean. And you'll notice the first thing that is so powerful about this is that this was created in 360 before Christ. It was realized that we do this polar opposite thing. And the qualities in the middle are the qualities between these two poles that we can bring to finding balance. And this was so powerful and is still today so powerful that it is known as an excellent path to live an excellent life. And so on the one end, you have the deficiency, and on the other end, you have the excess. And how many of us know that we battle with that all the time? We find something that's good for us, and then we take it too far, and the next thing we know, we need to balance it back out again. Now, all of the characteristics he has here are internal characteristics, but with regard to the way that paradoxes work, it's pretty much the same. It's like taking the sun and the moon. What happens if the sun stays up too long? If the sun stayed up and we never had the experience of the sun going down, how long would that last? Right? The earth would just burn up. And so this idea that we're looking for the middle path is a principle that can be applied just about everywhere you find yourself dealing with polar opposites. Vernon, could you take the next slide, please? Now, these next few slides are going to demonstrate different tendencies we have in relating to each other. So the circles are our individual selves and our universes, okay? And this is mutually exclusiveness, where we're so different in the way we think and the way we want to live and how things should be that we just don't have a connection. We just look at that and we say, I just can't relate to that. I don't know how to do that. I don't know what that is. And I'm going over here. And so there isn't any connection. Go ahead to the next slide, Vernon. Now, this next visual here, this is where sometimes even with our families, we're like, we love them. We wouldn't want to be disconnected with them ever. And we need them in our lives. But oh my goodness, you know, my brother is traditional Baptist. And every time I say Science of Mind, he thinks it's a cult. And what are we going to do about that? So here we have this need to stay connected. But in fact, the world that we live in is so different that we can't imagine them ever actually coming together. So we lovingly agree to disagree. Next slide, please, Vernon. Now this, if you notice, circles are getting more connected. This is like-mindedness. So here in our community, the green in the middle, this is like us today. We come together and we have a common intention and common terminology, and everything is all wonderful and it's easy to sing together. And we have this whole section where we're family and it's all good and it's safe. Now go to the next slide, please, Brennan. This is actually a twofold picture, because I want to take a minute to look at this. Each one of these is its own letter, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Okay, and each of them has their own circle, and each one is a different color to indicate a different individual. And in spirit, this is actually what we're doing, and this is actually how we impact each other all the time, unconsciously. We can't keep our world in spirit from not mixing up together. But consciously, we try to do this whole thing of separation if we don't agree and all this kind of stuff. So what we're looking to do is we're looking to realize that, in fact, we're impacting each other all the time. And if you notice, in the very center of this is all the letters. In the very center, every single circle is together, and it says A, B, C, D, E, F, G, all of them. Okay? And so in spirit, it's all one, and it's all moving, and it's all impacting each other. And what we're looking to do is consciously get comfortable recognizing that we're all that connected, and we need to figure out how to live in human terms with that kind of community. And so that is the last slide. And I need to check my notes real quick. And so I want to tell you guys a very quick story that comes from my life as well. When I was living alone and I wanted someone in my life so much, and I would say to people, I've been living the Science of Mind for some time as a practitioner, and I had a great life. And I would say, I have a great life, but I'm lonely. And I went on and on like that. And I was just praying that I wasn't going to be alone for the rest of my life. And finally, everything came to this fevered pitch. And it dawned on me that I was making what I needed and wanted the most. I was ducking my loneliness and putting that but there, because when you say but, you cut off everything that comes before it. I have a fabulous life, but then this other thing, and that's like an either or kind of a deal. And all of a sudden I realized, you know what, I have to stand in the part that makes me uncomfortable. I have to stand in the reality that, yeah, I might be alone for the rest of my life. Massively uncomfortable, you guys. And I had to stand in the potential that what I did not want might happen. It was a possibility in God. And when I owned my potential for loneliness, and I owned honoring that the opposite pole from what I wanted had some validity, could happen, then is when things started to shift around and Vernon started to come into my life. And what it took was for me to say, and I knew this was it. And so I would say to people, you know what? I have a fabulous life and I am lonely. And that there you have the both and instead of the either or. So I want to offer a quote that actually comes from Reverend Catherine Knox when she was here speaking for us. Faith is not demonstrated in things turning out the way we thought we needed or wanted them to. So we know we're okay. Faith is knowing we are okay, even when things don't turn out the way we wanted or needed them to. So, in closing this week, consider practicing an openness to seeing and doing things from different perspectives, for staying flexible in your thoughts and feelings. And you can do this by being spontaneously creative, by going different ways every day or dressing in different order every day. You know, we've talked about that some before, but taking this in with this idea of how we're working with paradoxes takes it to a whole new level, very much like Katrina said in the things that she offered us. And so, as our final quote, this comes from Sean Ginwright, who wrote The Four Pivots. Healing is our capacity to restore our humanity and care for ourselves and others, even in the midst of our fear. Healing is the only path to reconciliation because it requires that we take an honest look at what harmed us and pushed us out of our humanity in the first place. And finally, to move confidently into our possible future. Changing things that are broken in our society requires individual and collective healing. And on that note, our closing treatment, I have been made aware this morning that there is an immediate demonstration of the need for healing that is happening for Israel right now, and anyone connected to Israel in heart and mind. And so without delay, I take all of what is here, all of the beautiful lights that collectively are the community of Louisville Center for Spiritual Living, and I say, we lift Israel up. We lift anyone who is in the same kind of state that Israel and the people who are at polar opposites with them up. Knowing and declaring right here and right now that in the immediate, the behaviors that do not work must be navigated. They must be taken care of. And at the same time, absolutely knowing that we're not turning away from the beingness. We're taking the beingness onto our shoulders and lifting it up into that higher consciousness of spirit that says that spirit within can do the work. Spirit within shows the way. And I know that this is true not only for this demonstrated need across the world of our globe right now, but in all of our individual universes coming together like that starburst where we're all recognizing that what we do in consciousness, in heart and mind influences the whole. Thank you, thank you, thank you, God. I release it, I let it be, and so it is.
And so it is. So, our October prosperity affirmation is I activate within me the consciousness of love, compassion, and generosity. I am a beneficial presence in the world. And I'd like to invite you to visit the chat to contribute to the Louisville Center for Spiritual Living. I do thank you, and I'm so absolutely grateful for your time, talents, and treasures that each one of us share. And I pass my love for this center to Vicky as she does the offering.
And in blessing this offering, it is so much my pleasure to take up this word like passing a baton, as I know that the fabric of the shared intention that extends not only between Katrina and I right now, but is encompassed by Pat and by the president of our board and the treasurer of our board and the secretary of our board and our members at large, everyone who holds the center. Every time we do this blessing, it's about all of us embracing all of you, and all of you embracing all of us. We do it together. We are both the givers and the receivers. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and thank you, God. I release it. I let it be, and so it is.
Our announcements for today.
And so Katrina and I talked about this. She said, Vicky, how about if you just keep talking right through the blessing to the announcement for today for the workshop? So those of you who were here on the 7th of May and were here for the workshop that Dr. William Emerson and Suzanne Harrell did, you have some flavor for what this is. This will be a completely different angle of some of the same content. But there's going to be an actual presentation by the three of us. I'll do a brief presentation, William will do a brief presentation, and Suzanne will do a brief presentation, and then we will have an opportunity to talk about this and invite you all to actually work with some of your own concerns, because the potentials are so broad. And I just invite anyone who, either for yourself or if you have concerns about the trauma that's happening in the world right now, just know that sharing in the consciousness of the discussion is a part of what makes that shift. And Vernon will be shutting down this Zoom. It's the same Zoom link. So if you want to come back on at 12:15 for the start of the workshop, or come a little early, you will have a 30-minute window there to go and try to get a little bite to eat. But come back on as if you're coming to service, and we'll all be here, and then we will take it from there.
And just a reminder that if you're interested in having spiritual mind treatment this week, I did put my email in the chat. It will also be in the weekly newsletter so that you can reach out to me for spiritual mind treatment, because we won't be doing that after service today due to the workshop. And next week, we will have speaker Scott Marcus come, and he'll be speaking about shaking up our worldview. Please join our community for social hour on Wednesdays, Wistful Wisdom. It's 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Zoom link. Volunteer opportunities. We have a wonderful tech support team with Vernon and Pam and Heidi and myself, and we would like to attract additional people who might be called to this type of volunteering to help let people in on Sundays, or begin training to run the Zoom link on Sunday mornings or on Wednesday evenings. So please contact Vicky or Vernon for additional details. We have been doing this unexpected income initiative. And in part of our expansiveness of recognizing the growth of us individually and as a community, we are tracking what we are receiving as a community as unexpected income. And as each of us are immersed in abundance, we have opportunities every day where we're receiving unexpected gifts, unexpected money, unexpected experiences. And that has been recorded here to the best of our ability. And so on this one, you'll see that this is, as an overall community, unexpected opportunities that have come into our world. And the next slide shows how those unexpected income opportunities have impacted our community. So our goal for the Louisville Center for Spiritual Living is for our community to hit $500. So as you're creating more unexpected income by reading the spiritual mind treatment that we have done as a community, hopefully that will continue to reflect in our community as we grow and expand. Please stay today for sharing time after the benediction. It will be a little shorter due to the workshop, but we love connecting with each one of you. And if you're new today, please join us for that connection time, or place your personal information in the chat to the Louisville Center for Spiritual Living so that we can share with you upcoming events. And as we say every service, and a reminder from my heart to yours and from all of us, you are magnificent. And our closing song is a receiving chant. So as we just anchor in this wonderful day and this time together with our beautiful Karen Drucker, please enjoy.
I do believe I will receive. I just have to know and then declare it to be so with an open mind and just a little bit of time. If it serves my highest good, then it will be mine. I do believe I will receive. I just have to know and then declare it to be so with an open mind and just a little bit of time. If it serves my highest good, then it will be mine. I do believe I will receive. I will receive. I just have to know. I just have to know and then declare it to be so with an open mind. With an open mind. Just a little bit of time. Just a little bit of time now. If it serves my highest good, then it will be mine. I do believe. I will receive. I will receive. I just have to know. Just have to know. And then declare it to be so with an open mind and just a little bit of time. If it serves my highest good, then it is mine. I do believe. I will receive. I will receive. I just have to know. Just have to know. And then declare it to be so with an open mind. Just a little bit of time. If it serves my highest good, then it is mine. I do believe I will receive. I just have to know and then declare it to be so with an open mind. Just a little bit of time. If it serves my highest good, then it is mine. Anything I want, it is mine. Anything I want, it is mine. Perfect health, it is mine. Perfect health, it is mine. Joy and peace, yeah, it is mine. Joy and peace, it is mine. Love, 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 it is mine. Love, 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 it is mine. If it serves my highest good, it is mine. If it serves my highest good, it is mine. If it serves my highest good, it is mine.
And so now we're to our benediction. Short and sweet, but so powerful. The riddle of the universe is a paradox. The question is its own answer. The mind that asks the question is also the mind that answers it. And that is by our beloved Dr. Ernest Holmes.